Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's obviously been a while. We'll not get into that today. Today we're going to be doing a video on the 21-22 player predictions. It's kind of more like awards. What's going to happen, young player of the year, best signing slot, yada yada yada. And to kick it off, we're going to do, should we do one player per person? Obviously, when we get to teams,
we'll go to player of the year and then we'll go through per
Okay.
person. So we'll go straight to player of the year. I'll start with mine because it's the first picture that's on the screen. I've got Bruno Fernandes for player of the year. This is not the only section I've got him in, and I was going through some players I think this season. De Bruyne, he wins it most of the time. To be honest, this season I can see De Bruyne getting injury, and I didn't want to put De Bruyne. I didn't want to be boring. So I've put Bruno Fernandes. He speaks for himself, doesn't he? At Man United, he's just brilliant. I've got him. What's everybody else got? Brian?
Oh, I was just waiting for you to say my name before I win. Oh, yeah, sadly, I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to pick Kevin De Bruyne because he's
Yeah,
still
it's
got an
good.
injury. To be honest, he had an injury last season, but I don't know. I just expect if Man City are going to win the league probably, so I'd like to think he's going to be the most influential player, and therefore, carry City to that title and win Player of the Year.
Spike?
So yeah,
Well, I mean, obviously, I would go like Gylfi Sigurdsson, but that's all happening. So I'm probably gonna go for like Harry Kane, because I think if he goes to City, he'll be a bit better, and I think he will win Player of the Year. He was wasn't he top scorer and assist
Yes, he was.
last year?
Yeah.
yep,
Am I right in thinking that? Yeah.
Yep.
So I think
yep.
if he wins the league and does that again, he'll win Player of the Year.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't have a picture of Harry Kane, but yeah, fair enough. Rafe, who have you got for your player of the year?
Surprisingly, I'm also going Harry Kane.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What? That's quite a surprise.
Even if he stays at Tottenham somehow, I still think he will win Player of the Year because at Tottenham everything's around him, so he normally puts up very high numbers, as we saw last year. And if he goes City, it will just be
Thing is with
broken.
Kane,
To be
though,
honest,
the Kane and player of the year. The reason I don't think he'll win it, and I didn't even put a picture for him, he will not have a better season than he did this year, and this year he didn't win it. I don't know what more he could do to win it. He got top scorer and top assister, and he still
win a
didn't
trophy,
win it.
Matty,
Win a trophy.
which he'll do at City.
If he goes to City, I think De Bruyne will get it over him, and if he stays at Spurs, he's not going to win a trophy.
I mean, we'll see.
Right, so we're going to move on to young player of the year now, and has anybody got Sancho?
No.
I
No.
do not.
Right,
I was
so
close to putting him, but
right, Rafe, who did you put then?
I put Havertz in the end.
Havertz.
I think
That's not Havertz.
he didn't have a great season. Well, he came around at the end. Obviously, scored the winner in the final.
In this picture, we can see this is just after he went round Edison in the Champions League final.
But I think he was getting a lot of criticism up until Tuchel came in. Under Lampard, he wasn't putting up anything.
Well, yeah,
any
Lampard
good
wasn't
numbers.
really giving him many games, and when he was playing him far too deep. He was playing him in more of a playmaker role. Where he's at Leverkusen, he's known to be.
And he
He's-
can't
I think-
do that. So.
I think this season he'll rediscover the form he found that he had at Leverkusen,
Yeah.
and he was very good for Germany at the Euros.
I have also got Havertz as my young player of the year. I was very close to putting him as player of the year. I think he will be top three. As I say, he's finally got that role with Tuchel. It's kind of a number 10, but more attacking it between the striker and the 10. Like that false 9 role that he grew up with at Leverkusen. He's one of the best in the world in that role. And he'll have a brilliant season.
Yeah. I think the exact same. I think he's had a.
Kai. Brian.
Yeah, you see, I wanted to also say Havertz, but if I wasn't gonna pick him, for some reason I feel like saying Phil Foden. I don't know why, but I know he didn't have a good Euros, but still quality. To be fair, I think he's actually slightly overrated. Like I think people actually make him out to be better than he actually is,
Foden?
even though he's quite good. I think
I
people
agree.
actually overdo
Yeah, I
it.
think he's overrated. I do.
I think.
But not because he's
I think he's
not
a very
good,
good
just because
talent.
people.
He's
Yeah, I
a
just
very
think
good
people.
talent, but
just
Yeah,
overdo how
slightly
good he is.
overrated, yeah.
I think Saka had just as good a season.
Yeah,
Personally.
I probably would say the same. To be fair, I'd probably put Saka there as well, but I just don't know what Arsenal gonna. If Arsenal sign a proven striker, if they sign Lautaro Martinez, then I could actually put Saka there because I think he'll put up better numbers. But with
Havertz
Aubameyang,
is above the likes of Saka is because Saka is I still class him as a young and upcoming player. I think Havertz is
yeah, he's 19.
already jumped into that level above.
What about Greenwood?
Greenwood, he's I think the same situation as
I don't
Saka,
know.
and Greenwood think Sancho's been signed. I don't think he'll get barely any games.
I think
Yeah, he won't get as many.
Nah, I think he'll be deployed as number 9 maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's his
Maybe
preferred
like-
position.
I
Because
hope
United
so,
are trying to
but
sell Martial, which implies
He's
they trust
impossible.
Greenwood. Right, I've seen Tottenham linked to him.
Yeah, I don't want him at Tottenham. I'm fine.
anyway,
I'd rather see Lucas Moura play up front.
I think we've comfortably agreed that Havertz will be up there for Young Player of the Season. Now we're going to go on to best signing next, and for me, I'm going to start with I think Varane will be best signing of the season because of best signing is a lot of factors for best signing. Be it is impact, price, which is the main reason I put Varane. The fact they've gone for 34 mil, and could form one like this partnership could go many ways between Varane and Maguire, but I think the most likely option is it'll be just bloody brilliant. And for the price they paid of Varane, it's made up for the price of Maguire. So I've got Varane.
Yeah, it's a very low risk move.
And he's not. He's not even in his 30s yet either. Like 28's not that bad for a centre back
He's in
nowadays.
his prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in his prime.
Yeah.
I've gone for the other United big signing so far, Jadon Sancho. He started off slow last season, but I think considering all the controversy around his move to Man United, that didn't happen. It's a bit understandable. But then around Christmas time, he really found his form again. Him and Haaland formed a very good partnership. And we could see when Sancho was injured for a few weeks, Haaland was a lot less impactful than he was when Sancho was on the pitch. So I think that complements just how good Sancho is, considering how highly rated Haaland is.
Brian and Spike?
Ooh, best signing.
Yep.
I will go with Varane, but I will say on special mention, if you will, to I think Ben White. I know the money they've paid, it's a bit over, but I think Arsenal need a centre back, a good centre back at that. And with Gabriel Jesus, if chemistry can be made, that could potentially put Arsenal into back into Europa League or top 5 or go on a big run in the FA Cup or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's a special mention. But
I would have put White if it was around 40 mil. If it was the same price as Varane, I would have put Ben White.
But it's the English tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always going to be inflated.
Right. So we've got top scorer next, and just
Wait, hold on. You haven't even let me talk, mate. Come on.
go on, Brian. Brian, who's your sign of the season?
Let me talk.
Not that.
Well, of course, I'd have to go with Varane, but if I had to pick someone else, I'd probably go with Emi Buendia, actually. I think we all saw what he could do with Norwich in the Premier League before, and I think he was still in the top 5 for chances created or some creative metric, despite playing in the Championship for one season. So I think if he comes back in the Premier with Aston Villa, if they do well, it wouldn't shock me. Even if Grealish leaves, I think Buendia can, to some extent, fill his boots. Maybe not in the fouls that he can collect, but in every other role, I think he could possibly
definitely
fill his boots.
Right, so top
But
scorer.
yeah, Varane is.
I have got Harry Kane. Wherever he's at, I think he will get the top scorer. If he's at Spurs, he'll get more chances because he'll be the one shooting more. And if he's at City, if City have a clinical striker, he's going to get about 20 key chances a game. So whatever club Kane's at, I think he will end up being top scorer again this season.
I personally think that Spurs, if he stays, he'll get more chances. But at City, he'll have better chances. Okay, there'll be maybe a chance to score. Yeah, it may not be, the volume may not be as high, but it will kind of work out the same because they'll be better, and I think he'll still be top goal scorer. If I had to say someone who's going to have a good year, and maybe if they do have a good year and live up to the hype, maybe Havertz could be up there, but Salah as well. Obviously, we're forgetting Salah, who's just naturally won. How many golden boots he won? Two. One.
Wait, one
two.
and one joint one.
Yeah. No, it was a triple one, wasn't it? Aubameyang.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
technically, I think Sadio Mane officially won it. But
all three counted.
I have actually put Salah as my main top goal scorer.
Yeah,
I think
same
because
actually.
of Mane and Firmino last season, their goals really dried out.
Yeah.
Unless they rediscover their form, I think they'll be heavily reliant on Salah. He's always just found a way to score.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I probably agree the same with Salah. I mean, you see, I still think people forget he was only one goal behind Harry Kane last season. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wins it. I don't really care if he wins it. Do I really want him to? I don't know. I think if like what Spike was saying about Harry Kane and his chances, if you saw that goal against Crystal Palace, I'm sure if he was playing for Man City, he wouldn't be taking a shot from that angle. I mean, it was a ridiculous goal, but I think Harry Kane, if he goes to Man City, I mean, even if he stays at Tottenham, I think it'll be Salah or Kane in one order. Like, it's very tight. Like last season it was tight, so I expected this season to be very tight. It's one of them two.
Yeah.
If I had to pick someone else that isn't them two, like someone that could push, I would love to say Danny Ings if he stays injury free, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
Never say never.
I don't think he'll leave this summer. I mean, Tottenham and West Ham, other clubs are linked to him, and I think if he was at this point in his career, West Ham have Europa. At this point in his career, I mean, he's 29. He has a bad injury record. I think he would go to a UCL club if he was going to leave. And the rumours about him rejecting a contract are fake. So.
When you quickly get on the assists, and there's two main players in contention here, isn't there? We're going to go through who's
De Bruyne.
So there's De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. Brian, who have you got?
Yeah, De Bruyne.
You've got De Bruyne. Spike, who have you got?
De Bruyne.
Riff, who have you got?
De Bruyne.
Ah, shit.
It's a De Bruyne from me.
I have put Bruno Fernandes. But the reason I've got Bruno over De Bruyne is I can see everyone in the Man City team from midfield up getting double digits in assists. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying I can see a possibility of all of them doing it.
Can you not see now that Sancho's there?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Reliant on Bruno for playing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They won't be as reliant on Bruno. If Man City get Grealish, there's another creator there. And if they get Kane likes getting assists. And they've got the already built midfield. I can see De Bruyne. I can see most of the Man City players getting 10, 15 assists. Most of them.
I'm assuming you mean all competitions, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay then. I was going to say it's a bit dodgy in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to go on to the flop club of the season, and Crystal Palace. Who said Crystal Palace?
Right.
Palace.
Yeah.
There's a lot of optimism around Palace at the minute, considering the signings they've made. They've had a very good window. I think we're forgetting, though, that they lost most of their squad. And the fact that Eze and Elise both are out for a few months.
Wait, Elise is injured? Since when?
Yeah, till October.
I didn't even know that. What?
So, I mean, that makes their attack look a lot worse already. So it's pretty much just Zaha at the minute.
Yeah, Benteke picked up some form towards the end of the season.
That's true. If he can maintain that, they might be alright. I'm not too sure on Vieira either.
Yeah, no, man.
He's too good at Nice. But I don't know. He's a bit of a raw manager, so we'll have to see.
Anyway, the other club, this is my decision. I think someone agreed with me as well. Is West Ham.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
One of them, they were. I'm not saying it was all Lingard, but when Lingard came in, they went from 9th to Europa League. Yeah. They've lost him.
Pretty much Champions League, actually.
Yeah.
And they faltered.
They've lost Lingard. They've also... clubs like this never do. I can see them doing a Burnley when they got Europa League, in fact, and finishing really low.
No, I think they'll finish
I think they'll finish
11th, 12th.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I just don't think. Well, yeah, Burnley.
I know Burnley nearly went down, but
To be honest, I think Burnley are going to go down this
but...
season, if I'm being honest.
Anyway,
that's a surprise.
I've got West Ham. We're going to quickly go, because we're running out of time, to flop player. Is this right? Aubameyang, Spike?
I said Aubameyang, yeah. And I say confident. People might go, yeah, but you had a bad year. People have bad years in sports every year. Yeah, across all sport, not just football, all sport have down years. It's okay to have a down year, but after that, you need to get better. And if Aubameyang had a poor year last year, if he doesn't recuperate and get better, I know he's getting older, but get better, at least try and push up his goal tally, then he will become a flop. And it's hard to say, but it's harsh, maybe. But I do think that if you're not going to get back to where he could be.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know. So, Leon Bailey.
Yeah, I said Leon Bailey. I mean, look, I think he's a good player, but I think this season, even at Leverkusen, he was fairly inconsistent at times. Yeah, he had his moments of brilliance, but fairly in and out. And I think he's going to take time to adapt to the Premier League. So I think, personally, it's a safe bet to say he'll probably be a flop this season. I think he'll come good within time. I just think this season, I don't know. I think you have to find this feet.
I agree with that. Right, now this one might take a bit of explaining, but I'm going to say, first of all, before I put the picture up, I still think he'll have a good season, but because I think he's an amazing player, but I still think he's one of the most overrated players in the Premier League history, and I think he won't be as good as people are expecting him to on his comeback. Van Dijk, right? I can see Van Dijk massively flopping because of how unbelievably overrated it is. Everyone's coming in thinking he's going to save Liverpool, thinking he's going to win them the league, come back, because, let's be honest, he's only had one absolutely brilliant season. And because of that, everyone thinks he's one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League history.
I think you underestimate his time at Southampton. He was very good at Southampton.
Yeah, but he was a very good...
He also got done out by Harry Kane, so
but
he got burnt by Harry Kane. Is that really worth it?
Basically, I still think he'll have a good season, but I think he'll flop to what most people are going to think.
Yeah, but
I can understand.
Ever play as well as he did that 18-19, I think it was. Same goes for Trent.
Yeah, apart from maybe Liverpool fans, not many people are expecting him to be out of the gates. Where he once was, you know what I mean?
All season, Liverpool's excuse all season for not winning the league is we don't have Van Dijk. We don't have Van Dijk. So they've got Van Dijk this season. They won't win the league because Chelsea, United, and City. No offense to any Liverpool fans, they are just better than Liverpool.
No, I don't agree with that. To be honest,
they are.
I don't agree with that.
At the moment. Van Dijk, you can't just be like, he's going to be back to where he once was. He's coming off an injury. I know an ACL injury doesn't really affect most athletes. You'll recover from it, but he's not going to be back up to where he once was 18-19 season because it's going to take time.
It'll take him a lot of time to adjust, and everyone's expecting him to just come back and not even do it for Liverpool.
Maybe just to get ready, mentally and just everything, get prepared, but.
Anyway, everyone loves a bit of controversy, and I think he'll be a brilliant player, just not as good as people say. Which is what flop is. Surprise club this season. I've got Aston Villa because.
Hang on, I didn't do my flop player.
We'll go back to that then. But I'm going to quickly describe. I'm going to describe Villa because the reason I've got them as a surprise club. This is very, saying if you. I'm assuming they'll lose Grealish because if and when they lose Grealish, everyone's going to start. That's when people are going to start underestimating them and saying, they'll never do what they won't do that well without Grealish. They won't do that well without Grealish. But they've made some good signings in the front three. Bailey, you never know. Buendia definitely will be good. Watkins is going to be good. Mings, good centre back, really good with Konsa. Still got Thingy in goal.
Martinez,
McGinn. I think if Grealish leaves, people are going to start really underestimating Villa, and then I think they'll still do as well as they did last season without Grealish. Right, so
I can
who's
agree
your
with that.
flop player?
I'll just go quick. I put Elise.
Aliso.
I know I also said Palace was my flop club,
Yeah.
but I think Elise is coming in on very high expectations, and he's had, I don't know, he had a poor attitude at Reading, so I don't know.
Yeah, I kind
he'll
of
be-
agree with that. It's
Yeah.
just that type of player. He's So, flop
Yeah, carry
club.
on.
Who's got Norwich?
I didn't have Norwich.
That
Right.
was
Palace.
Yeah, this is the surprise club.
You just
In a
said
good or
flop.
bad way.
Good.
Alright, carry on.
Carry on.
Good.
In Norwich.
Well, I can't even remember if this is a good or bad thing. Is it surprise as in how bad they're gonna be,
Good.
or is it surprise in
Better
terms
than
of
normal.
okay?
so better than
Oh.
expectations.
To be fair, I think I probably mentioned Norwich. I don't think that's not the club I was about to say, but I'll talk about them. I think they could actually stay up this year. I know it's a bit ridiculous, but they tend to always go back down. But I think this year, after getting relegated, I think Daniel Farke has, got his stuff together. And I mean, they still do rely on Timu Puki for goals to some extent, but I still think they can scrape it. And I think survival for them would still be very good and would be most people's expectations.
I'm
Probably
gonna
the same
agree.
with Brentford,
I think
but-
Norwich will stay up.
just.
Yeah. What about
And with
Brentford?
I think they come in, not the best squad. I don't think it's better than Norwich's or Watford's, personally, on paper anyway. But I think
Forgot about Watford. They're dead. Well,
I
Go
think
ahead.
they have a very young team, and obviously they have Tony. Now I think that season relies heavily on Tony.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, true.
Watford's possibility. I mean, Brentford's total possibility of survival all relies on whether Tony can adapt to the Premier League quickly.
True.
yeah, true.
I think-
If he bags about 15 goals, then they'll stay
If
up.
Tony adapts
If he
quickly,
doesn't,
they have a chance. If he doesn't, they're down.
yeah, they're pretty much done.
I think if they stay up this season, they'll go on and push on. Maybe be a bit similar to Leeds. Obviously, I don't think they won't have as good a first season as Leeds, but I think, you know what I mean. They can push on then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Anyway, that's it for our sections. We're going to end it there. We've had some very controversial predictions throughout the video. I think the only nailed on one we've said was the young player of the year being Havertz.
Yeah,
But-
and De Bruyne maybe.
Yeah, and De Bruyne.
Probably
Yeah.
Bruyne.
From Matty.
Yeah, great
I've
stuff,
got my
yeah.
reasons. Injuries and Man City have players all over. Right, that's going to be it. We'll be doing another video soon for our league predictions. From what people have said in this video, I've again got some quite different opinions to other people.
Spurs to be relegated.
Spurs to go down.
Great one, guys.
Yeah, Spurs are going down. We'll see
Yeah,
you in the next
we're
video.
going down.
Shouldn't be too long this time.
Mm.